On this edition of Lexington Now, the Kentucky Theater is back, help filing taxes and bringing healthy food to the underserved. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of January 31st, 2022. The Kentucky Theater will be celebrating 100 years later this year, but it hasn't always been a smooth path to getting there. The pandemic forced the theater to close in 2020, but now a new management team has brought the historic theater back to life.
Hello, I'm Fred Mills, manager of the Kentucky Theater. As many of you know, the Kentucky has been a part of this community for almost 100 years. In fact, this coming October, the theater will be 100 years old. I've been associated with the theater pretty much for over 50 years. I tell everyone that I have the best job in Lexington, and I am excited to be coming back to the Kentucky for its reopening. It hasn't been as easy a task as we thought getting reopened, primarily due to our digital projectors did not get used for a year. We turned the projectors on and they worked. A few days later, when we checked them out again, they didn't work. We're involved with a supply chain, waiting for parts to come in. So that means that we're unable to show any first-run movies at this time. But we have found out how to do some Blu-rays and DVDs. So we thought it was really, really important to get people back in the theater again. Since the theater's going to be 100 years old in October, we're going to show a movie every month from each decade. So this would be the first one, the film from the 20s. And it's Sherlock Jr., I believe that's the one with Buster Keaton. And Charlie Chaplin film that's called The Kid. The price back in the 20s, I think, was 50 cents, so it's going to be 50 cents for this one night. So. And then, of course, next month in February, we'll be doing a film from the 30s and then on leading up to October. Back in 2020 was a difficult year. The Kentucky Theater closed in March and was closed to June. We attempted, and we reopened things that it was a slow summer. It was a little slow for everybody with restaurants and bars as well as theaters. We could see early September that with the attendees that we were having, that as a business that we weren't going to be able to survive. So we had to ultimately make plans to close, which we did in early October. And then spring forward to 2021, the Kentucky Theater Group that had previously operated the theater for almost 30 years decided that they did not want to come back. You know, they were out. Mayor Gordon decided to issue an RFP for someone new, a new management company to take over and to operate the theater. The Friends of the Kentucky that had been associated with the theater's fundraising from several years ago decided that they wanted to be the management company.
So today I am officially recommending that the management contract for the Kentucky Theater be awarded to the Friends of the Kentucky Theater. Yes.
And then we set out on our mission to get the Kentucky reopened again, and here we are. You know, it's taken a little bit more time than we had anticipated, but the main thing is that we're going to get people in the theater and then get these parts in, and then got a lot of films to catch up on.
Tax season is here, and the Lexington Public Library wants to connect you with help in this year's filing. Here's Ann Donworth.
The Tax Assistance Program is a partnership with AARP. They provide volunteer support to come in and help people to one-on-one work through their tax forms and help go through the process with them. This really is open for anyone. Just because of the services being provided by AARP does not mean that you need to be eligible to be an AARP member. This is open for anybody who is paying taxes here. These are all provided pro bono, again, thanks to the volunteers through AARP. It's a really wonderful program. We really just provide the space and help connect library customers with that great resource that AARP is providing. Last year, of course, we were not able to offer any in-person programming due to the pandemic. This year, our volunteers, the AARP volunteers, are going to be providing this service. They do ask that people wear masks, of course, but they are feeling like their volunteer corps is vaccinated and can do this safely. So we're very happy to bring this back. It is by appointment only, so people do need to call and make an appointment. When you call for an appointment, the AARP volunteers will walk you through what the requirements are. They'll help you get the forms that you need downloaded, which you're welcome to print off at the library, and walk you through what other documents you need to bring. To make an appointment for AARP tax assistance at the Beaumont Library, call 859-429-5420. And then to make an appointment for tax help at the East Side or Tate's Creek libraries, call 859-428-7437. Anytime Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You must have that appointment, and then they'll walk you through the process and what you need to bring to your appointment to help with your taxes. It's a complicated thing. A lot of people struggle with it, and it can be expensive and very daunting. So having these volunteers who have been trained in this process to help walk you through it can be very reassuring, and also make it not quite as daunting. We all want to do what we can to support our community, and the library, we're just glad to be able to provide this space and this opportunity for our customers.
When we come back, healthy food for all. Welcome back to Lexington Now. As with many urban areas, Lexington has segments of the population that don't have ready access to healthy foods. Tiffany Brown talks to us about what is being done to confront this challenge.
Historically, certain areas of town have been underdeveloped. There's been lack of investment, and which has caused food insecurity, or most notably called food deserts. There could be lack of transportation, and the walkability to supermarkets just isn't feasible. And then we have big box retail chains that are moving away from investing in neighborhoods. So that is what all of those things have created this huge challenge in Lexington. We want to hear from the community about what they think the solutions should be. There are several models that other cities like Louisville are using. They're using a mobile grocery store as a model. There are other co-op type of opportunities that other cities are using. So we're looking at examples from other cities to see what they're doing, and then how we could implement something like that in Lexington, or even if that's something that residents would want. So we are hosting several community sessions in the coming weeks to get community input on what they think could better help them to access healthy, nutritious food. We're not talking about, implementing some type of fast food or frozen. We're talking about fresh, healthy, nutritious produce, meats, cheeses, those type of things, and staple products like rice and beans, how they can access those in their neighborhood. That could be farmers markets popping up in other places. It could be a myriad of other responses to this challenge, but we're hosting the community sessions to hear from them, to see what best they would like to see in the community. Anyone from any area of Lexington can participate, and I do want to further encourage everyone to participate in these sessions. Of course, the first 4 will be in person, but those who prefer to meet virtually, we have that as well. There's a link to an online survey. EHI Consultants is helping us to do the community engagement, and they'll help compile the data from the survey. Also gotten information from residents, community members, physicians, or community organizations who have emailed me saying that they want to be a part of the solution to the food crisis in Lexington. So even if you want to email me to give your suggestions or responses if you're not able to make the meeting, I'll be glad to take those thoughts into consideration as well.
Winter can wreak havoc with your home or business's plumbing, but there are ways to prevent the occurrence of frozen pipes this winter. Kentucky American's Susan Lancho explains.
Kentucky American Water suggests for all of our customers that they take a few minutes to go ahead and prepare their homes for the cold temperatures, and that includes things like remove your garden hoses from the spigots outside your home, and make sure that you get all of those garden hoses disconnected from those spigots, because if you leave those attached, then the water in those hoses can freeze during cold temperatures and cause that frozen water become ice and back up into your home and burst your pipes. So we certainly don't want that. So go ahead and make sure you disconnect those hoses. The other thing that you can do is go ahead and check around your home for any water pipes in your home inside that are on outside walls that may be susceptible when the weather does get cold to freezing during those colder temperatures. You also want to check things like basements for pipes that are exposed in basements that get very cold, because again, those pipes can freeze and potentially burst, and that causes huge headaches and obviously some damage and cost for you in the winter, and we don't want that. So go ahead and take some time, maybe check out some options for insulating those pipes at your local hardware store. And then the last thing that I would say is a really significant step to take is make sure that you and everyone in your home knows how to turn off the water to your home quickly should you have a pipe freeze this winter. And to do that, you want to know where the main water shutoff valve is located in your home. It's often in a basement or a utility room, sometimes in a crawl space, and it's typically on the side of the home where your water line enters your home from the meter. And so you want to look for that valve, and when you find it, when you identify it, go ahead and mark it with a ribbon or a piece of tape or something to let your family members know that should there ever be a burst pipe in your home, that's the valve to turn to quickly turn off your water. This winter, if you were to have a pipe freeze and burst, certainly if it bursts, you want to go ahead and again shut off that water with your main water shutoff valve until you can have time to check with your plumber, etc. But you want to keep that water turned off so that you don't cause more problems in your home. But the other thing you can do to prevent colder temperatures this winter is if you go away, for instance, if you're out of town for the weekend or you have an extended stay away from your home, make sure that when you adjust the heat for your home, don't go any lower than 55. It may be tempting to turn that heat all the way down, but if you do that, you risk your home getting really cold and causing those pipes to freeze. So you want to prevent that by going no lower than 55 degrees. You may on certain nights when the temperatures are getting really cold to have just a trickle of water dripping from your faucet to help that water keep moving and again prevent it from freezing. If you do have a frozen pipe, You want to, for instance, if it's under a cabinet, you want to open those cabinet doors, let the warm air of your home help to thaw those pipes out. You could take a hairdryer and blow those pipes. We don't recommend taking any kind of open flame to thaw your pipes because that can cause you other problems. But certainly sometimes it's time is what it takes. And again, if there's any indication that there's a leak that's being caused by that pipe, you want to turn your water off.
We've got several live meetings to bring you this week, and you can catch all the action right here on Lex TV or streaming online. And remember, for the most accurate and up-to-date information on all city business, check out our website at lexingtonky.gov. Here's a list of this week's televised meetings. And as always, we continue to keep you up to date on how the city is handling the pandemic via our official COVID-19 response site, including testing, vaccination, and booster sites. Simply click on the banner at the top of our homepage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media. Check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.